Yeah, welcome to, well, not so sunny, kind of dreary, damp, rainy, Northwest Pennsylvania. I know on this channel I usually do a lot of gun related, firearms related videos. Let me adjust this for a second. Then you can see my rifle there in the sideground. Just been sitting here in my little corner of the hacienda here and doing some much needed maintenance on my flint locks and stuff. And, well, I was scanning through some local news and I came across an article that kind of ticked me off. Now, some of you might know I'm originally from upstate New York, and I moved to Pennsylvania to get away from the draconian overtaxing and super restrictive state or People's Republic of New York. I know that's kind of harsh, but that's the way I feel. I feel like New York has a tendency to overregulate everything in your life to the point where uh, it's no fun anymore. And you go broke, which, it's easy to do in New York. So, this article I read has to do more with biker shit. Okay? It's got nothing to do with Second Amendment. But it does have to do with personal freedoms. And that's the way I look at it. Whether it's a Second Amendment kind of thing, carrying a firearm, or in this case, helmet laws. Now, of course, New York State has a helmet law. You can't ride a motorcycle unless you're wearing a helmet. In 2003, Pennsylvania tossed out their helmet law. Well, at least they modified it. You still have to wear a helmet if you're under the age of 21, which, now, some will say is still too restrictive. And I can't argue with them. You're old enough to vote. You're old enough to make decisions. You're old enough to go in the military. That should be the age that you are old enough to make up your mind whether you want to wear a helmet on a motorcycle or what other, adult things that have been postponed to 21. Drinking. Back when I was a kid, 18 was a drinking age. You were old enough to vote. You were old enough to drink. You were old enough for guns. You were old enough for everything. Okay. Now they, touchy feely people out there say, oh, you gotta be 21 in order to drink. You gotta be 21 in order to buy cigarettes. You gotta be 21 to, you know, be able to exercise your personal freedoms or personal, you know what I mean. So this article, um, some politician, I think it's out of Beaver County. If it is, it's an appropriate county for a little wussy like him. This politician wants to bring back the helmet law for everybody. Everybody should be wearing a helmet, according to this putz. Anyway, uh, it just gets me going. It just leaks me off when I see something like that. I come across an article like that. Will it actually pass? More than likely not. Uh, I don't know if you guys out there are familiar with a bait. There's a couple different ways a bait is standing for different things, but primarily they're about educating riders, and they work with the politicians and stuff to get a little more, I'm not going to say freedoms, a little more rights, we'll say. Yeah, and freedoms, I guess, uh, for the motorcycle community. They were very instrumental in this state for getting that helmet law tossed out in 2003. So when you're an adult or you have taken the motorcycle training class and you're 21 and over, because I think the rule is if you're new to motorcycling and you just got your license, it's 2 years before you can go helmetless, unless you take their state approved course, which is the National Motorcycle Safety Administration, whatever the heck it's called, um, which is a very good course. My wife took it. Gypsy went through it, and yeah, when she was done, she no longer needed to wear her helmet. She still chooses to, which I don't knock her for in any way, shape, or form. She's not as confident in her skills yet that she would feel comfortable enough to leave the helmet home. Me, I've been riding a lot of years, and there's times where I don't want to wear a helmet, and I don't. I'll get on the bike and I'll go somewhere and I won't have my helmet on because I just like that feeling. I like that freedom of, you know, not being closed off. Do I wear my helmet a lot? Oh, hell yeah. I'm not an idiot. There's a lot of people on the road, a lot of people in cars on the road, a few of them on bikes too. But there's a lot of people on the road that, well, shouldn't even be there. They're too busy texting on their phone, which is illegal in this state. I don't have an argument with that. Drinking and driving is illegal in this state. I don't have an argument with that. No, I like both those things. No texting, no drinking. Good. You're gonna save some lives that way. At least it's gonna save my life that way. Some idiot's gonna be texting on their phone and go, "Oh, well, look at that." Change lanes and wipe you out. I'm constantly looking for people like that. And drinking and driving in this state, ugh. Well, the local jail's full of DUI cases. Apparently, people in this state like to drink a lot. The bars are always packed on a Saturday night. I don't drink much anymore, and if I do, it's like the other night we went out to a Mexican restaurant, and I had a margarita. Guess who drove home? Gypsy. She wasn't drinking. But that's me. I won't get in a car. I won't get on a bike. If I have a drink, I'm done. I don't drive or ride. That's my philosophy on that. But I will get on a bike without a helmet in a heartbeat, especially in weather like this. It's really humid and stuff, and you're driving through town. It's the sun's beating on you. You just can't wait to take that helmet off because your head's just soaking wet with sweat. Or you get out of work and you're all sweaty and nasty, and you just don't want to close your head off to that nice, cool breeze that you're going to create. So, yes, there are times where I don't like to wear a helmet, but it's my choice. If I have an accident, fall off that bike, and crack my head, whose fault is that? Well, if it's a single vehicle accident, yeah, it's my fault. But if somebody hits me, I don't care if you got a helmet on or not. It's their fault. At any rate, we all know the insurance companies like to, ride the politicians and get them to change laws that can save them money. In other words, seatbelt laws, airbag requirements, and all that stuff in cars. You think the government cares about saving lives at that point? No, really not. Nope, they're more interested in, getting money from the insurance companies, and the insurance companies are more interested in saving money. Because if you have an accident in the car and you're wearing a seatbelt, are you less likely to be injured? Or the injuries be less severe? Oh, hell yeah. Do I wear a seatbelt in the car? Hell yeah, I do. But I also know what it's like to have an accident and not be belted in. That you are safer if you're belted in, and you're still, as the driver of the car, you're still in a position to control the vehicle after it's hit, if it's all humanly possible. In my case, no, I could not control the vehicle because I was nowhere behind the wheel. I got tossed over to the passenger side. And I had no prayer to be able to guide that car back onto the road because I was too busy flying across the car. If I had been seat belted in, I stood a chance to be able to control the car, maybe lessen the accident. But that's me. That's my theory on it. I look at seatbelt laws and helmet laws with the same eye. It's my choice. Well, apparently this idiot thinks he knows better what's good for you than you do for yourself. These are probably the same kind of guys that go, "Oh yeah, you shouldn't buy one of those big gulp sodas because that much sugar is not good for you." The world's full of those people. At any rate, so this guy wants to bring that back, make it mandatory for everybody, and to me that just that sours me really fast. Yeah, I'd wear my helmet, still ride. I'm not stopping that, but I don't need a politician out there telling me how to live my life all the time. It's one of the reasons why I left New York. One was monetary, and two was, I'm tired of being told what to do for everything. Especially during COVID and stuff. New York was like, I rode back to New York during COVID because you know I had some business over there, and that's when New York was trying to literally shut its borders down and not let anybody in because I'm afraid of COVID. Well, they couldn't do that, so everywhere I went, I had to wear a mask. Did I have to wear a mask here in this part of Pennsylvania? Mm, most of the businesses here already knew. You try to force a mask on somebody, they're going someplace else. Excuse me. There was one restaurant here that learned that lesson the hard way. It damn near put him out of business. Now I understand people are afraid. And that's what these politicians use. That's what this guy's using. Fear. You could get seriously brain damaged falling off a motorcycle. Well, no duh. I don't know. Has he ever hit the ground at any speed on a bike? I can guarantee you he hasn't. I can guarantee you I have. I know what it's like to hit the ground at 70 miles an hour. Helmet, full leathers, the whole 9 yards. And you know what? Still broke bones. Still got busted up. I know a helmet saves lives. I know a helmet can keep you safer and mitigate injury. I also know that if I don't want to wear it, I don't have to. And that's the freedom that I love about Pennsylvania. I don't have to. So, well, tell you what, if you agree with me, give me a thumbs up or put a comment in there. Um, just if you don't agree with me, put a comment in there. I'll absolutely argue this till I'm blue in the face. There's no way you're going to tell me what's good for me. I already know what's good for me. I also know what's bad for me. So, thanks for watching. Give me a comment. Like it. Like the video. Dislike the video. And at any rate, go out and do some fun shit. We'll see you later.